Alrighty, I think we're live now. Hopefully. Hello, guys. Seems like there's a couple people. Imperial, what's up? FOMO. FOMO is always early. Who else is in here? Let's see. Humo, what's going on, man? We'll give it a couple minutes before we start. Everyone can roll in. Let me double check. Okay, we are live. That's good. Hello. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Also, shout out Alan. Appreciate you being a member, bro. Welcome to the channel. Galanjo, what's going on, brother? Hope you're having a good day. Okay. We'll give it another 60 seconds. And let me close Discord too. Don't have any good pings. I got a Goldie Roger, BGS 10. Alex, you have some competition here, man.
Yeah.
BGS 10 with the 9.5 centering. Yeah, that's the big issue, right? The centering.
Yeah, that's the most common. Yeah, gold 10. It's a centering. I mean, like, yeah, if you have edges and edges, corners, and surface, like maybe you can resub, but it may come back the same.
Gotcha. All right, guys, we're gonna start. We got almost 50 people in here. Welcome. I'm with Alex Kong, the owner of 14 of the 67 Gold Roger Black labels in English. We're going to just have a chat today about how we got into investing in TCGs, why the Gold Roger, thoughts on PSA, Beckett, I'm sure a lot of other things as well. Alex, thank you for taking the time, man, to do the interview. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Grayson. And yeah, first of all, like I pretty much watch all your videos. So they're really valuable. I mean, they're an asset to the community because no one's really tracking all the prices, especially for the seal and the slabs. I personally don't like to collect the seal because it just takes up so much space. But I think they're great investments. Especially I know you're from the Pokemon side, but keeping those seal products, it's probably like the only asset or one of the few assets in the world that only goes up in value if you keep it sealed. So yeah, I mean, Grayson's doing a great service, and yeah. So here I have a little display. It's a cheapo gold. It's a Gold Roger Japanese in PSA 10. So it's the magnitude of price difference is crazy between an English black label and a PSA 10 Japanese. But yeah, so I originally started collecting cards maybe the early 2000s, beginning with basketball cards. So I was big into collecting LeBron James. So I'll just tell a quick story. When I bought my first few LeBron James cards, I had the Topps Chrome Gold Refractor and BGS 9.5. So in 2006, I bought that for each for approximately 1K. 2016, after the Cavs won the championship, it just made it peaked in value. I sold it for about 10K each. And then at the peak of COVID, a true gem mint copy went for 900K. So it's one of the biggest regrets of my life, and probably will be for the remainder of my life. But those cards, that there was a correction period. So that 900K card went back down to around 160. The market may pick up when he retires, but I don't know. But I essentially liquidated all my basketball cards, and then now I was always wondering about One Piece because One Piece is a newer TCG, started in 2022. And I was always curious about the Gold Roger. And the Gold Roger didn't release until, I believe, November, December of 2024. So the kind of rule for collecting baseball or basketball cards, you want to get the true gold parallel of whatever card there is. So especially rookie cards. So anyone, collecting any type of, basketball or sports cards, you always want to go for the rookie card. So, I mean, you're assuming the most risk. And obviously, 95% of the players, they tank in value because they're not they're not living up to their expectations. But Gold Roger, he's dead. He's cemented. He's not getting porn stars pregnant. He's not taking a day off because he rolls ankle, whatever. So it's pretty solidified, and the IP is enormous. It's enormously popular, across the world. And also for One Piece, I believe it's one of the longest running animes of all time. So anime/manga. So yeah, I felt that this kind of was a card. And when I was looking at One Piece, I noticed that for Luffy, there's like hundreds of variations of the card. So when I was looking at it initially, I was like, which one is the one? So I was confused. Is it the Oda signature? Is it the serial Luffy? Is it the OPO5? Now is it the OPO11? The gold foil. But after a little more research, I've noticed like the serial Luffy. It was the Grayson was out 750 or 1,000.
I think it's about 700, right?
Yeah,
That one,
something
the
like
really
yes,
expensive
yeah,
one.
yeah, right. So there's only 14 black labels of that one. So I'm not priced out, but like initially it was still so expensive. People were asking 50,000 for it, but the Gold Roger, I noticed black labels initially, when the first few came out, they were on 15K. In the summer, they dipped, it kept dipping to 11 to 10. So I picked up a bunch at around 10K. And then I noticed like the price action is like going back up. So 11, 12, now I don't know, like the last public comps are 18, 18.5. So I mean, they're increasingly hard to grab because there's some in the United States, there's some in Europe, there's some in Asia, and I personally keep a spreadsheet of all the public black labels. So I myself have 14 that are vaulted. So like they're not seeing the light of day again; they're out of circulation. And then I have a list of the other 50, the other 53. So I know 22 of the 53. So I know like the origin and also keep track of who's trading what and like what they're doing. So usually I've noticed, especially on like Facebook private sales, people like for example they would trade a Luigi Pokemon, Luigi Pikachu or whatever, Mario Pikachu, and some cash for for a Gold Roger or Gold Roger plus cash for whatever. So people are trading up, so they're not necessarily paying 100% cash. And I didn't know this at the time. Like people fly to deliver these cards. So I actually had a nice guy from Miami actually meet me and deliver like my Gold Roger number 13. So he delivered, and I was surprised. I didn't know it was a thing because apparently UPS and FedEx, they have a lot of theft in I believe Kentucky and Memphis. So there's a lot of theft going on. So they see where it's coming from, like Santa Clara and PSA. They probably know what's inside, and it's like a small little box that's taped up, and they'll just take it, and then there's no recourse. And the thing is, I don't believe in insured value of cards because what happens is the card goes up in value. So why are you insuring something? The market value 6 months ago versus today, it makes no sense. So in essence, what I was telling Grayson before, that if you lose these cards, that they're essentially priceless. There's so few of them, the collectors, they bought Beckett, so they may be coming down and say, hey, don't give out so many black labels anymore. So I mean, there's a lot of moving parts with collecting these cards. I mean, there's a safety risk of storage. I know people get all their Pokemon sealed, it gets stolen from time, especially card shops that targeted. So, I mean, my suggestion to like the general public is if you have any like high value cards, just to send them away to PSA Vault. I like the service, especially if you buy something from eBay. It's very seamless. So you get it verified by PSA. Whatever product it is, a PSA or a Beckett a BGS card, you get it shipped directly to the vault, and it's safe. And you can, if you choose to, sell it later, like via their system. So I really like the service, and my personal belief is if you're going to collect something, you have to specialize because it's impossible to collect everything. So you can't have all the Luffy's, right? I mean, and there's only one Gold Rider, so it's easy. There's one gold manga. It's a gold, and I was never enthused with the regular manga cards because they kind of remind me of the Panini Prism NBA cards. They're kind of like silver and refractive, but nothing special because if you collect these cards, you always want to go for the gold, the true gold parallel. No gold wave, no gold speckle, just true gold. So I mean, I don't know if Bandai is gonna make another product with like a gold foil, but probably not. But they have the red Luffy, yeah, which is nice, yeah. So
If they do come out with another gold one, is that going to be something that you consider investing in?
I mean, if it's a variant of this, probably not because this always will retain like the best value. But yeah, maybe if they had a gold. I mean, I really want a red Luffy black label, but there are none currently. I mean, they're being dinged on centering or whatever surface. So I would love that, but I think the market price for that particular red Luffy and black label, it'll be at minimum 20 to 30, like bare minimum. So it's going to be very
Hmm.
expensive because the red Luffy's the OP13 set is coming at a time when the market's super hot, and then and it's one of the hottest sets because there's like three red mangas in there, and they're very desirable. I think it goes from Sabo to like Ace to Luffy in that order,
Hmm.
probably. I'm
Yep.
not sure, but yes, it's a
We talk
great
a lot about OP13 on the channel. I
yeah,
think there's a lot of big fans of that set in here.
yeah,
The one thing though that I think a lot of people are going to be curious about is why did you decide to go with the black labels compared to the PSA 10s, which are
yeah.
easier to find, build a position in? Why specifically the black labels?
Yeah, so there's two answers to that. So number one is I'm not a huge fan of the PSA case. So if you notice, like especially for Pokemon, the Pokemon cards they're thinner and they have a smaller surface area than regular basketball baseball cards. So if you shake them and they rattle, I mean that card is banging inside. And I don't care. I've seen videos where people are shaking these things at 1,000 RPM, whatever. I mean, if you look very carefully at the cards, that the cards are being compromised. So you see countless examples, like people buying aftermarket PSA 10s. That little, the little lip, it's banging that near that corner of your card. So it's red. Can you imagine like it's going through USPS and they're chucking, or UPS, FedEx, they're chucking those packages. And yeah, I mean, because I personally I've noticed, because PSA the slabs they don't have generally don't have an inner archival sleeve. I've seen for some thicker cards and some cards they do. I don't know the thought process behind it, but it's not all of them. So it's just a raw card in between the slabs. Yeah, it's banging around there, and it's going to affect the quality of the card. And if you notice, like if you look at the that big Logan Paul card, it's
The
being auctioned
illustrator.
off of Golden.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if you look at the scan of the back, I mean, you can tell that card's you see some whitening there. I mean, it's not imaginary, so it's there. So I mean, he's putting on his necklace. He's banging that around. He's throwing it around. So I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, just the safety of the PSA card, the PSA slab, I don't like. So that's number one. So I believe if they instituted like an archival sleeve like like Beckett does, and give some
Hmm.
space for it to move around, because like the archival sleeve for the Beckett case, it's like a pinched kind of penny sleeve. So it's not gonna nothing rigid is hitting the sides of the edges of the card. And yeah, sorry. And the second part, second part to the answer is, I had a conversation with an old powerlifting friend of mine, and he's like, "Oh, Alex, I noticed you're collecting like the Lamelo Ball like pink refractor or whatever, pink disco refractor." It's like, yeah, you should probably only collect the best variations, and only collect the best condition. So, so I was like, oh, okay, so I'll apply that principle to the TCGs. I'll only collect black labels where everything is perfect. I mean, they're human graders, so it's not like all of them. I'm not saying like they're all equal, the black labels, but at least you have the standard. Like, and the black label rate for the Gold Roger specifically is 15%. Which is kind of high. Like you mentioned earlier. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to collect like an inferior grade. Just from an investing standpoint, you only want to have the best. And there's like there's like hundreds of like gold label 10 Gold Rogers. So like number one, it would be logistically impossible for me to collect all of them, right? So I'm shrinking the pool of what I'm trying to buy, and I'm buying the best quality, and it'll always have at least what like double the premium of a gold, or at least like maybe 150 to 200% the premium of a gold label, and it's more special and more rare
Hmm.
than gold label 10. And it's funny, like I know like for the Pokemon world, PSA 9s is just it's like equivalent to like raw essentially. And I would think like a BGS 9.5 like Gold Roger, like it's like kind of like a raw card. There's no premium on it because the condition is not that great. But
Hmm.
yeah, Bandai apparently did a great job with this the quality control for these specific cards. So yeah.
Cool. I want to go back to something you said earlier too, when you're talking about how you track all the sales on the Gold Rogers. You're really up to date with that. And I know we've talked before, but anyone watching this hasn't really heard that conversation. Do you feel like you own the most in the world? Do you know if there's someone else who has a very large position? If so, kind of how that plays down in terms of the numbers?
Okay, so mathematically, I can say no. So obviously, I need at least 50%. So that's over 50% of 67. But I track a lot of like high level collectors, and they'll they're not so crazy about this card. They like the serial Luffy more. So I would say like the high level collectors, they may have like one or two, and they're sprinkled across. And I know like certain individuals, like for example, I talked to individuals, big baller collectors, and I collect kind of in Los Angeles. What was it? Yeah, last month. Yeah, and they have a copy, and they're unwilling to sell because number one, they can't find another copy easily, and it's part of their PC. So I know for a fact, like people are holding on to like a single copy, and there may be like 20 people like that, or 20 to 30. So if I had to guess, like probably maybe like over 50% chance I have the most. But I feel like in the next market downturn, if people are looking for liquidity, if they need money for whatever reason, then I'll probably be there and just take them all. If this card went to $1, I wouldn't care. I would just get them all. It's
Hmm.
just like it's like a personal collection of mine. And on the flip side, like when I try to negotiate another black label, I tell, and this is the honest truth, like um, these cards, I'm sticking them in my family trust. So I'm kind of developing that. I'm in the process of getting that done. So I don't. Number one, like it's not feasible for me to sell it because they're in the vault, and you got to go through a whole process to get it out, da da da. So it's like, extremely painful to get it out. And number two is like I have no desire. Like I'm not in a position in my life to ever sell them because back in 16, I was like, oh, it's a good return. I'll sell this, LeBron Gold Topps Chrome gold refractor for 10 times what I bought it for. It's a great deal. But at this point, like I'm purely collecting, and there's no need for me to sell. I
Hmm.
again, like I mentioned, like I was collecting basketball cards before, like, a lot of LaMelo Ball, and he's a massive disappointment. So I unloaded all those, I believe, last year. Like these young guys, these young NBA players, they can't like focus on their craft. They're not like they're not like a LeBron with the longevity, and like they're spending millions of dollars to maintain their body. They're all hanging out with like porn stars and whatever, and it's just they're not focused on the game. So it's really it's yeah.
Hmm.
So I think another, like maybe a guy with his head on straight is Cooper Flag. He seems like he seems legit and not distracted, maybe focused. But again, like, I'm done with like I'd rather collect like TCG versus a prospect that may not pan out. So
Hmm.
it's all very risky. If you like, especially like NFL quarterbacks, if you're investing in those, like 90% chance you lose all your money. So
Gotcha.
like yeah, it's really rough. The speculators, they win, but they also lose like a ton of money. Like if you're investing in people outside of Tom Brady, then like, you might have lost money. If you're investing in people other than Michael Jordan and like LeBron, probably lost money. Yeah, it's terrible.
You've got a lot of people in the chats.
Yeah, yeah,
I think they like the basketball take there on
yeah.
Cooper Flag. So
Yeah.
yeah, that could be a top prospect for the future, right? I mean, he had
Uh,
what? Was it a 50-point game this year? Or a huge
I
he had a
think so.
huge game,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah. I know he's averaging over like 20 a game, so which is great.
That's impressive.
And he's not taking that many nights off. A lot of the young players, they take tons of nights off, and it's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to the collectors, and they don't care. But at least the NBA, they institute like a 65 game rule to qualify for all NBA teams, so
Hmm.
all NBA honors. So I think that's great. So that incentivizes them, especially if it's part of their contract clause, to get the full value of the contract. I think it's a great rule, but they'll take. They don't care. Like they're still making like 30 million a year. What do they
Hmm.
care if they get an extra 10 million? Why should they care? You know?
That's always been one of my biggest issues with sports in the modern days is everyone's getting paid so much that it's not really about winning anymore. It's just about getting the bag and moving on. But
Oh yeah,
I do want to ask you, and we talked about it a little bit, the PSA vault. You said that you don't believe in insuring your collectibles because of the price appreciation on those.
yeah.
For someone who doesn't know a lot about the PSA vault, can you maybe go a little bit more in depth about the security of the vault, how things actually work in terms of sending a card there, if you want to get it out of the vault, what you actually have to do, and what sort of recourse you have in the event your card gets lost or, God forbid, there's a robbery at the vault or something like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so the PSA Vault, so, I want to say collectors. Okay, so I'm going to get this mixed up, but there's some relation with collectors. Like either they bought the vault from eBay or whatever, right? So, anyways, collectors is the parent company for now. PSA, SGC, and BGS, but they also have the vault. So eBay works directly with that specific vault from the PSA. But anyways, if you let's say you buy a card from eBay, right? You can select, oh, please ship to vault. So it'll never cross your hands. So it'll go to authentication. If it's over X amount, then it'll go straight to the vault. But yeah, that entire process is insured. But yeah, back to referencing what you just mentioned. Like, yeah, I don't believe. Okay, so let's say you were to start a pending investigation on a missing shipment, right? And that takes months and months to resolve. So they're only going to give you the insured value as of that date, that it was lost or shipped. So that's where that difference comes. But yeah, I mean, I believe PSA they keep current market value, or they approximate a market value for your card, and that vault is like 24/7 security, climate controlled. Also, it's in a disaster-free zone. So it's somewhere in Delaware. So they have all those three going for it, and again, it's fully insured. So it's pretty safe. But like what I like about so if you download the app, then you can see all it'll say like vaulted XYZ number of days, and then it'll take a professional image of your card. So that's what I put on my Instagram. So I take that scan, because like if you go through an auction, right, they'll probably like tag the picture, but then they re-image the card. And then yeah, so I take that image and then I post it on my Instagram. So that's why there's kind of a lag time between my Instagram, because if I send those cards to the vault, then it may take like anywhere from like 3 to 6 weeks to get that image done, and then it'll say vaulted and all that. But yeah, like for example, okay, so just in my philosophy, any high price cards, like you do not want to keep in your house. You want to either vault them. Even if you have, even if you have like a personal vault, someone can take yeah, they can just bust it open. I mean, they're not like super secure, and like, what if your house goes on fire? Like what if there's a hurricane? What if there's flooding? Those safes they're not waterproof. So there's so many things that can go wrong. Is because for me, I don't like to collect any type of like physical product, because there's a chance it gets damaged. I mean, I collect cards, but they're not really in my possession. So, yeah, I mean, it's just you're setting yourself up for so much risk if you are storing the cards yourself. And anyone that like let's say someone services your home, or someone knows where you live, then like you're subjecting yourself to a ton of risk. So I don't suggest like storing anything that like you're not comfortable losing, actually in your house. And like what's nice is, let's say you want to pass on your cards generation to generation, right? Then that service can act as kind of your proxy for any type of intergenerational transfer. So you can say, oh, I want my account transfer to XYZ or whatever, or like like your inheritor can retrieve the cards. I don't know why you want to do that, but because the Vault is a fairly new service, and it came about in the past few years. So I think it's a great service, but I think the incentive for collectors, especially, is to so they can easily go around and flip the product. All the cards in a centralized location. So I'm sure they can get a certain cut or percentage of it, or they're offering another service to collectors if they want to liquidate their stuff. So I mean, everyone's benefiting, in my opinion. But again, the risk is just too high for any type of physical product of any value to be kept in your home. So that's what I strongly believe in. This is security, and like again, it's insured, so you don't have to take a separate insurance policy out for your cards, because they're already insured with PSA. And I'm sure PSA they're holding a lot of like Mickey Mantles or whatever, some crazy expensive, way more expensive than any TCG card. So yeah.
We do have a question in the chat, and guys, I will say we'll get to a question period here in a second. I have a couple more things I want to ask Alex, but we'll take this one. And by the way, if you do have a question, write question in all caps before your actual question. That way, when I'm going through the chat, it'll be much easier for me to see it. We will take this one though from Sabbath. The real question: why the Goldie Roger and One Piece, I guess, in particular, over Pokemon?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I never collected Pokemon as a kid. I'm kind of old, but yeah. So Pokemon, like, okay, so I would love, like, for example, like a Charizard first edition, the like a BGS 9.5. Again, I'm not, and the PSA 10 is like priced out of, it's like what. So there was a guy named Gary's Pokemart, not the Gary, right? But there's a guy named Gary's Pokemart. Like he told me he sold a BGS 9.5 first edition Charizard for like 80 or 90,000. So I mean that's like palatable for me. But yeah, if you want a PSA 10, yeah, you're priced out. Like I'm not gonna spend 500,600 on it. So if you notice a lot of the older Charizard slabs, I mean, there's a lot of whitening on the backs of those cards. I mean, I mean, what I've read is like PSA was less stringent on those cards like back in 99, early 2000s. So I feel like a lot of those cards are just for me personally, like they're compromised. And again, like I mentioned before, the rattling inside the case. If PSA solved that, it'll be great. And so I had two suggestions for PSA actually. So the first suggestion would be to have like a similar inner archival sleeve like BGS, like exactly how they do it. So I think that'll work with not damaging the cards like subsequent like secondary market shipping or handling whatever. So that's number one. But so three suggestions. So number two is like they should probably get into at least authenticating sealed product because some steels may have rips or whatever. I mean, like they can determine maybe by the weight of it or X-ray whatever like doing something to authenticate the pack. Because people get scammed getting the old sealed product. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I would highly suggest PSA get into that, at least authenticating and encapsulating sealed product. So that'll take a lot of guesswork out of the market, and that'll increase the values of all sealed product. And number three would be, I know they'll never do it, but like to introduce like a 10 pristine grade. So maybe you can take the existing PSA 10s and try to bump them up, and that'll create a competitive market. But I don't think they'll do that anymore because they acquire BGS. I don't know if they're going to acquire Tag and what's the other one, CGC. Mm-hmm. So I don't know like if they'll do that, but I think if they did, I mean, it will create a lot of uproar. I know people will be extremely upset, but I think they should introduce that pristine tier. So, you can get, because obviously those PSA 10s are all over the place. Like some of them are center, there's whitening. So, I mean, I feel the extra tier and, the special, encasing with like an inner archival sleeve, like it will make a difference. But, given the fact that collectors, they acquired Beckett, that's probably not going to happen. But BGS 10 Black Label will always have a premium over PSA 10. It's just my feeling. Can you imagine? There are no Black Label Charizards, but can you imagine if there was a Black Label Charizard? That'll go for like $2 million minimum, like minimum. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was actually going to be my next question too. Collectors and buying BGS. In terms of One Piece, because obviously you own a lot of the Gold Rogers, do you worry at all that it's going to affect the value of those cards long term? And kind of just your general thoughts, maybe going forward, on how that could potentially affect your investments or other people and their BGS investments?
Yeah, so I think if I mean what I'm hearing is from a particular car dealer. He's like, yeah, I think collectors is laying down the hammer on Beckett to be tighter on their Black Label. Again, this is just speculation. But ultimately, if that's the case, that's great, right? So all the Black Labels prior to the acquisition, like they'll stay a Black Label, right? No one's gonna crack them, resubmit. That's stupid, right? So I think the existing Black Labels, like they'll go up in value, and then I think from this point forward, it's going to be extremely hard or harder to get Black Labels, given that, because they have to create some market differentiation, right? If they're truly separating the entities, right? So you have PSA and then BGS. So BGS, they only do a tiny, especially for Pokemon, like a tiny fraction of PSA's business. So I feel like for them to, I guess, continue on with their BGS grading service, they have to be a lot tighter with their standards, because they need to differentiate between PSA's general grading standards, because PSA cards 10s, that they're not perfect. BGS 10, Black Labels in general, yeah, they're essentially better all around. Surface, centering, corners, edges. So I
Mhm.
mean, you won't see whitening on any black label. Like you won't see it. Unless there's some kind of like foreign dust or object while they're encasing the cars. I've seen that a lot with PSA and sometimes in the BGS slabs. Like there's some foreign debris in it. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, the standards are strict. And again, just my feeling is that I believe black labels may be harder to come by. And I mean, Grayson may see it in the data with seeing, oh hey, are the submission rates similar? Are the black label rates similar, or they're shrinking? So I mean, I'm sure like as time passes, like that all that data will unfold and reveal what the truth is.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to track that going forward. I'm lucky that we looked at that maybe a week or two ago. So going forward, we're going to have very clear kind of separation between the old stuff and whatever's the new stuff. Maybe if anyone's watching this, the video we did about a week ago on the mangas and the black label rates, we'll probably do that again in about a year. We could get into some questions though. Tef, who's always super active in the chat. Alex, what are your thoughts on Riftbound? I know we talked before stream that there's a card you're interested in getting.
Yeah, so okay, so I don't know anything about League of Legends. I don't play. I mean, outside of Street Fighter, I don't really play games. I mean, I'm older, but yeah. So Riftbound, yeah. So I know. I mean, just talking a friend. I mean, from a friend of a friend, the Daughter of the Void. But there are no black labels currently. So I mean, for me, I only collect black labels from this point forward, especially because I know like I would rather wait for a perfect raid versus getting something substandard below what's perfect. But yeah, I mean, again, hearing from a friend of a friend. Actually, this friend of a friend is a friend of Poke MV. You might have seen him on TikTok, Instagram. Poke
Okay.
MV. Have
Never
you?
heard of him, but
You haven't? Okay, so he yeah, I mean, he's getting pretty popular, and he just
Mhm.
hosted a card show. But
Okay.
yeah, his friends saying, oh yeah, Riftbound is popular. It's popular to play. So I mean, it could be a good play, but again, you follow the same rule. You always get the chase card parallel, so like the card. So if it's in this case Kayasa or however you pronounce it, yeah, I mean I would go for that the signed version. So there's like
Mhm.
a gold signature on it. So similar to the Oda signature. So always go for the high end and always go for like the best label. I mean best condition you can. So I mean that's my only thoughts on that because again I don't play League of Legends and I don't know much about the game, but always go for the highest most limited parallel and for the best condition.
I think there's a lot of people in the comments here. I see the comments all the time, people interested in
Yeah,
Riftbound, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's going to be really useful. How about this? What are your thoughts on the Moonbryon, the PSA 10? Probably the population, I imagine. And maybe you just want to talk about like PSA 10 populations and Pokemon in general and how you view that compared to One Piece.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, obviously a Moonbryon in a black label is better, obviously. So I believe it goes for like what 15, 20 minimum. Yeah, 15,
Is it
20K.
that much?
It's
Wow.
it's not cheap. I mean, and like there's hundreds or thousands of those, but PSA tens. But again, like there's no yeah the PSA tens. I mean, they're fairly easy to get, right? I mean, you can eyeball the card. Is like look at the card from the front, look at the card from the back. Even you can get centering apps. The AI shows you if it's like 50-50, 55-45, 60-40. So the centering is super easy, and the whitening is super easy to see. And you can take a loop or like a magnifying glass, and you can look at the surface. So you hold the card to a good light, and then you kind of shift it around, see if there's any surface crashes, especially if there's any hollow foil on it. So I think you can screen easily for that. And from what I heard, like PSA is hiring a lot of new graders. So I mean, they probably don't know really what's going on. Oh, it's a 10. Yeah, let's give it a 10. And but again, there's so little space in that PSA slab where I've seen I've read, especially on Reddit, like them encasing it, like during encasing they damage the cards. So I've seen that a lot. And then again, the rattling really bothers me. So I mean, yeah, I mean, also yeah, another small thing, right? For like if you have a PSA card, just lay it, store it flat. Don't store it like this. Like it's gonna sink to the bottom. It's gonna hit those hit the little the little lips.
Plastic pegs or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, Yeah, just store them flat. Don't store them upright. I mean, it's gonna screw up the card. I mean,
Interesting.
like, yeah, just FY. I mean, I know people are sensitive to that, but yeah, if you just want to be extra sure, just leave it flat.
I don't really have much to add there. In general, I'm not a huge fan of investing in PSA Pokemon slabs just because the pops are very high. I understand that a lot of those cards, kind of like how Alex is doing with the Gold Rogers, they're going into trusts, they're going to the PSA vault. They're never actually going to be sold again, but just really high pops in comparison to One Piece. So that's why in Pokemon I stick with the sealed product. So
Yes,
yeah.
100% safe. It'll go up in value. 100% safe.
I know we touched on this earlier, but for some people who maybe weren't here at the start of the stream, why the Roger over something like the Luffy?
Oh yeah, I'll explain again. So yeah, okay, so my issue is I said earlier in the stream, like there's confusion. There's hundreds of Luffy variations. Maybe not hundreds, but yeah, like there's a lot. So when I started buying One Piece, I was confused. Like, oh, what's the card? Is it the Oda signature? Is it the serial? Is it OP05? Is it OP11? So there's confusion. Like, what's the one? But yeah, I mean, in general, like I've noticed, like over time, like the serialized Luffy out of whatever it is 700 or 750 like in a black label, there's only 14 of them, so they're not accessible, or like they're asking for 100,000. I mean, I think one recently went for 105. So I mean, yeah, would I love to have one and put it in the vault? Yeah, I would love to, but I mean, I'm not going to be paying an unreasonable price. And like I was kind of late to the game from that aspect, because those were being given out 2022 2023 when they were cheap.
Hmm.
So like, yeah, I mean, if you want a lot of something, you got to be first mover advantage. Like basic economics. So you have to grab as many as you can. You got to negotiate, and yeah, you got to. I mean, right now these Rogers are they're so expensive. They're getting like super expensive, and like I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna pay like 100% over the recent comp. That's ridiculous. But like if someone's willing to sell it to me at a reasonable price, yeah, I'll take it. But I'm not stupid. Like 14 is pretty good. I would love to have more, but if it's beyond the scope of any type of rationality, then I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to be paying, like, for example, 50 or 100 for it. That's ridiculous. I mean, like, my average cost is around like 12.3, and like I got a lot of them at around 10 or 10.5. So I mean, yeah, it's just I would feel like, for example, for like stock investing, right? You don't want to raise your cost basis, right? Because it's gonna screw up all your numbers. So like you're more reluctant to buy a stock when it's like super high versus initially when it was like a fifth or a tenth of the price.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. Like these Rogers are out of circulation, but whatever. If you're willing to sell at a reasonable price, then I'll be happy to talk. But like otherwise, like I'm happy with it. I would love more, but I'm not stupid.
By the way, guys, if you do have a black label, or are you buying ungraded copies as well? Still?
Yeah. So okay. So I was at CollectCon. Like I was like I printed a little sign, Gold Roger question mark, like an idiot. So but there's like 1,000 tables, so I had to save time. So I just like I folded it in half, then I unfolded it, and I was going like this without ever having like to open my mouth, because like I don't want to be talking like 1,000 tables. Yeah, it was a waste of time. Like there was only okay. So I picked one up at the show, right? But that was a deal I did before, like prior to. And there was another one. It's a really nice guy named Armand. He has a store out in California, in Los Angeles area, and he showed it to me. He's like, yeah, I mean, this is part of PC, and like, I'm not gonna sell it unless I find a duplicate copy. So apparently, he has trouble finding a duplicate copy, so he's unwilling to sell it to me. And I completely understand, because this guy's collection is sick, man. Like, he has almost every black label card, like including the serialized promos and all that. So this guy is like a big baller. So I mean, yeah, he has almost. Yeah, I mean, I think he told me like, yeah, he has essentially every black label, essentially. So like, and I'm not sure if he had a black label serial Luffy, but I think he had at least a PSA 10 or a gold 10 serial Luffy. So yeah, some people they're just unwilling to sell. I mean, like I said hypothetically, hey, if I offered you 100,000, would you sell it to me? And then like he said, he had to think about it, because he can't find another one, not currently. So yeah.
If you guys are interested, though, I just posted a link in the chat. It's in the description as well to Alex's Instagram con card. So if you do ever want to sell one, This is probably your guy, your best bet to get top dollar for it, at least a reasonable price, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like you said, you're
comps,
not
yeah,
willing. Yeah,
yeah,
200% plus is ridiculous for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I
exactly.
agree with you. I do have a follow up to talking about the Roger versus the Luffy, and we kind of talked about this as well. If they did a Luffy card that was a gold manga, so it was exactly like the Roger, different artwork Luffy, is that something that you would jump on and invest in?
Oh, 1,000%. But I mean, maybe when he finds the One Piece, they'll do something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is what Bandai should do. You know how like the Lord of the Rings, they had the one of one the ring card. They should do like a one of one the one. I mean, whenever it's revealed, like one of one One Piece, and that'll go for like I don't know $10 million. That'll be funny. Like, and if they, whatever it grades a PSA 9 or whatever PSA 9 PSA 10. But yeah, 100%. Like if there's like a gold variance of like a Luffy card, that's not like a SP like the OP05 to OP11, and it's like a dedicated like gold, true gold manga, like with the paneling and all that. Then yeah, I would go for it because it would be like a commodity. It's like a variance of a manga alt rare, so 100%. But it'll be
What
expensive. Yeah, it'll be expensive
for sure,
from the get go. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on serialized cards in general? I know there's a lot of pushback in the One Piece and even Pokemon communities about adding serialized cards, but
Oh yeah.
coming from the sports world, it's something where it's more accepted and popular.
Oh yeah, it's very yeah. I mean, like, I think it's assuring to some collectors that you have a definite set number of cards. So like you can assess the rarity. But like I will say, I think I mentioned to you before, like the Chinese version of this card is actually stamped with a serial number. There's no like there's no like slash out of whatever, but it's stamped with a gold serial. So, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of them, but yeah, I mean, I believe there's like 3 digits. So I'm guessing, like it probably goes to 999, right? Probably, right? If there's three
Maybe.
digits, yeah, maybe. So I think again, also I think the serial, especially if it's on the front of the card, it takes away from the aesthetic of the card. So you would want that on the back of the card. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I like it from a collector standpoint, but the thing is um, like okay, so like the current generation of that Luffy card, the serialized, like there's another one like he's like this,
Yep.
and there's no serial on it. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. So that was not serialized. So why is that not serialized? It's like a type of championship or regional card, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, at least be consistent with it. And the thing is, like in the future, right? Like they'll continually Bandai will continually produce these serialized cards. So which one is going to be the one? So the one is going to be the one that was issued first. So that's always going to have the top dollar. So any subsequent serialized card, like it probably won't be as valuable. So I would, for me personally, I wouldn't want to collect it. But again, like if I found like a serialized Luffy Black Label for like maybe I don't know, like it's not gonna happen, but like 70, 80, I'll probably buy it.
I think you're getting rage bait in the chat here,
Oh yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, so this one was only after like taxes and fees, only 2.3K, and it is at an angle, and the bottom of the card is not touching the bottom thing of the bottom lip of the case. So that's why, and I don't give a
There,
shit if it got destroyed. Yeah,
there you guys go. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Japanese one, right?
Yeah,
You
it's a
said
cheap one. Yeah,
there you
you
guys
light on
go.
fire, it's worth nothing.
Confirmed. Alex Khan does not care about Japanese cards. I'm
I
on
mean,
board with it.
they're nice, but I mean, like, I mean, if you're gonna invest in English cards, I mean, if you're, because like I saw like the first, sorry, the I mean, whatever the 99 Charizard Black Label, it only went for like I forgot what it was, but it was like either around 100 or less than 100. So like that kind of shows you like they're not that valuable, you know. Yeah,
Mm.
so I mean, that's just my opinion. So if you're gonna collect, get the English one. I mean, more people want it, and also like especially I know for Pokemon, like the US printing standards, like they're really bad. So that's why you have all these off-center cards. And you sometimes you have two characters on one card, it's so bad. Yeah, so I mean, the printing quality is so bad. So that's why like a black label in English for Pokemon is so treasured, so valuable.
Paul says in here, are you worried about the future values of One Piece, maybe 20 to 30 years down the road, especially once it's exited public discourse? And you mentioned, are you planning to leave these to your children if you have kids or
Oh
eventually
yeah,
have
yeah,
kids in the
yeah,
future?
yeah. So okay, so I get it. So I mean, like I mentioned before, if these went to a dollar, like I would just buy them all. I don't really care. I mean, it's such a small percentage of my net worth that it doesn't matter. So I mean, so yeah, I mean, I'll let it run its course, and like they're going to be in the vault. I'm not, like I don't want to go through the trouble of like getting them back. So I mean, they're stuck there. So I mean, yeah. So yeah, okay. So what I think the rumor is that Oda is trying to continue this through like 2030, right? I mean, that's a rumor, right?
Hmm.
That's like
Yep.
about about the what 30th anniversary. So yeah, I mean, at some point, but like for example, Pokemon, there's like a hundreds of Charizard variants, hundreds of Pikachu variants. I mean, Pikachu at McDonald's or whatever. Like there's so many. It's endless. So yeah, I mean, they can keep milking it like for X Y Z. But what I am curious about is, for example, what was I gonna say like when okay, so when the anime ends, right? Or like for example, like why do certain so Bandai actually produced One Piece cards like prior, I believe, earlier in the 2000s. So why was that not successful? Why was that not successful? Like, why is Dragon Ball not successful? I mean, that's a huge IP. Why is like Naruto or whatever Naruto's coming out? Why is that not successful? So it's very curious. So I mean, I think I would boil it down to possibly gameplay, how popular it is to play. I mean, apparently it's very popular. I don't play personally, but I mean, I hear it's the ease of play and like the playability is very good. So I think that may be a differentiating factor of like which TCGs are popular. But apparently the community is strong and it's playable. So yeah, but I'm only approaching from a collector standpoint. So yeah,
I think this is probably impulsive. This the response you're gonna get from a lot of people
yeah,
who are buying these cards right now. That if things go to zero, that they really won't care because for them it's such a small percentage of what they actually own.
yeah,
That some of these cards are just even if they go to zero, people aren't gonna be trying to sell them, right? Like they
yeah.
are collection pieces that they're gonna hold long term.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
get where you're coming from, and I'll just give my input. Like I do worry a bit once the story ends and then 20, 30 years down the road. I mean, you look at Star Wars, like that was kind of the baby boomer generation. That was super popular. I
yeah,
know millennials, like Harry Potter was huge. That's kind of fallen off a bit, but even Star Wars, Harry Potter, a lot of these things where the story actually ends, you still have people interested in those collectibles, right? Like there are first edition books of Harry Potter that have signatures of J.K.
yeah.
Rowling that go for tens of thousands of dollars, if not more. So it's not like everything's gonna go to zero, even after that happens, and that is something obviously you should consider. But I think a lot of people who own sealed product or who even own graded cards, a lot of people are gonna sell over the next 5 years, anyways, or 10 years. They're not even gonna be in the hobby, so it's
Sure.
kind of like a conversation I hate having every single day, to be
Oh yeah,
honest.
I mean, yeah, like for example, like Star Wars had a TCG like I want to say like I don't know, 99, 2000. I mean, do you know those black border TCG Star Wars cards?
I'm too young
Yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. So that was like popular or whatever. Like I remember they had a black border on them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't know. I mean, yeah. So yeah, to answer impulsive TCG's question, yeah, I mean, we don't, no one knows anything. I mean, I would say Pokemon, we have the data. Like it'll probably. I mean, it's like the most valuable like media IP in the world. So I mean, like it'll probably continue to go up. So I mean, I think that's a fairly safe. But yeah, he's completely right. Like there's no predictability on what's going to happen, especially when the anime ends. But I mean, it appears. I mean, it appears. To have a good following, and it appears so. But again, like we can only track these past like 3 years. So yeah, the answer you don't know. But if it went to zero, I wouldn't care. I would just get all of them.
Hmm. Controller Freak, what's going on, man? What's your opinion on the EBO2 Luffy, the Gear 2 one? Have you seen that, Alex?
The Gear 2 one, right? The one
Yep.
he's like this. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful card. But yeah, I mean, if I had a choice between the EBO2 and the OPO5, yeah, OPO5 all day, all day.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll take this one too. Do you think Japanese cards will go up in price in the future or only English ones?
Yeah, I mean they'll invariably go up, but like they'll always be a fraction of what the English are. So I mean that's my answer.
Yeah, I agree. Which One Piece sealed product would you consider collecting then, or
Oh yeah, I mean
investing?
if you have blue bottoms and you can afford it, yeah, get a bunch of those. But they are very expensive. I do have an OP09, like just a few boxes. I mean, I think that's a good one, but like I think I was buying them at 200 and they're like over 400 now, like something crazy. I mean, it's so crazy. And like thing is like in my area in the United States, like it's so hard to get the One Piece boxes. It's like impossible. I mean, like
Hmm.
they're not at like the big box. I mean, you may get like the sleeved packs at the big box retailers, but you know, even like the LCGs, like they're charging like over retail. It's crazy. So like I mean like you can't get a fair price for them. You know, it's just insane. And if you do find there's something for like true retail, like online, it'll sell a lot in like a millisecond. So it's like it's just it's so crazy right now. You know, like and if you're buying product like okay, for example, like you know that same guy I talked to CollectCon, like he opened 60 cases of OP09 to get 2 gold Rogers. So I mean like mathematically, what those cases are what retail like 1400 something like that, something like that,
Yeah,
right?
1,200, 1,400.
Yeah, so you open 60 of those cases, and then like, there's a 15% chance you'll get a black label. So I mean, like mathematically, it doesn't make sense. You just buy the card itself, you know, if you want that. I'm sure you pulled other mangas, manga resume because there's like 5 total in there, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, like something. Yeah, so OP13 is a no-brainer. Okay, keep that sealed. OP09 probably no-brainer. Keep that sealed. If you can find like OP01 blue bottom or maybe even white bottom, it'll probably go up in value. I mean, like I'm sure like 70 to 80% of them are ripped to shreds, and there's probably only 20% remaining. You know, yeah.
This
Who
might be a
knows?
hot take, but if rip and ship culture really adopts One Piece, which I think it will, I think it's only a matter of time. I personally much prefer enjoying the opening experience in One Piece compared to Pokemon. I just think it's a lot more interesting. If if we see a lot more rip and ship of One Piece, I think OPO9 is going to be $1,000, $2,000 box in the future. I still think it's undervalued,
Yeah,
just with
100%.
the value inside. Like it's so deep that
And
five mangas, the
it,
SPs.
it I'll also add like the black labels for the Luffy, the Shanks, and the Buggy. Like they have very little black label supply. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
interested in the characters, so I know like when I was watching your videos earlier, like oh yeah, don't collect the main characters, right? So I 100%. If you're coming from an investing standpoint, yeah, well, why are you collecting these ancillary people? Like just collect the like I will collect Gold Roger, right? Luffy, and then whatever, like maybe the rest of the Straw Hat crew. But I mean, if for me personally, I would only collect Luffy and Gold Roger. Like I mean, because those like, they're like the huge protagonists in the story. So I mean, like you should probably stick with those if you want to be safe. But yeah, if you're collecting all these kind of obscure characters, I mean, like the odds that they'll go shoot up in value like the others is very slim.
I do think that Blackbeard and Shanks are going to play a bigger role in the end game.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Like Luffy is the absolute no-brainer. These are the pop reports for '09. If anyone's curious. 3 Black Label Shanks, 4 Buggies, 12 Blackbeards, 67 Rogers, and 5 of the Luffys. 5 Luffys in a Black Label is very interesting, in my opinion. Only 5 worldwide. Um, yeah, we should actually take the super chat though. I was meaning to do this. Question, Seba, thank you for the super chat too. If I'm grading manga rares, should I always go Beckett over PSA? What do you think, Alex?
Oh yeah, so I mean that's a great question. So in general, these Bondi raw cars they're great, but again, you shouldn't be stupid, right? You should look at especially the centering on the back of the card and whitening. Also, you have to check the the surface very carefully of the card. But yeah, I mean, I mean with this new acquisition, it might be a little tricky, but I mean if you feel that again, like you can look at the eye and run your card through the app for the centering, then yeah, if you get a black label, it'll pay off tremendously. But like PSA 10 is kind of a shoe in for One Piece cards. I mean, it's fairly common. So I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, Grayson showed you the percentage rates. But yeah, I mean, if you want to gamble and take the premium and try to take the premium for black label, then definitely go for Beckett. But again, don't you got to send a pristine card, centering, surface, whitening. Yeah, you got to check it very carefully before you send it in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a lot of these top guys, they fly their cars to Beckett. So like they collect all these raw cards, they inspect them personally, and then they fly to wherever it is, like Plano, Texas, to get them graded. So yeah, it's
Gotcha.
crazy. I mean, there's a whole another world of these big ballers. Like it's crazy.
What's your Instagram? I did link it in the video description. It should be right at the top, Kong_cards. And I just put it in the chat again as well. If you guys are interested in selling a black label to Alex. Question, why Roger over the Oda signature? I mean, we talked about Luffy, but was there any interest in buying a Luffy signature from OPO5 or?
Yeah, I mean, like I did see them again, but again, like there was that confusion. Like I don't know what's what. I think that's STO2 or something. I mean, am I correct? Like the set for that
The
card, STO2.
well, that's like it came from the starter deck, didn't it? And then it was put
Yeah,
in
yeah,
an
yeah,
alternate version.
yeah.
I
So
actually don't know,
yeah,
but
yeah, but yeah, it's a great card. I mean, like
mm,
but I think initially when I was looking at it, like especially through eBay, like they were expensive, like from the get go. And again, I just had this uncertainty of like what to collect because I didn't know like again, like if I were to buy that card, then I would rather have a serial Luffy. But I mean,
mm,
it's a great investment. Like, but again, if there's another card that has that Oda signature, then it may screw with the value of that one. So I
gotcha.
mean, that's also and again like there's so many variants of the Luffy that it kind of turned me off. So I'd rather specialize in one card versus so many. There's too many Luffy cards. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Do you think that One Piece will ever flip Pokemon and become the top TCG?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Um, yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to say. I mean, I wouldn't say impossible, but pretty much impossible, fairly impossible.
I would agree with that. I think that the base of Pokemon's so wide, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
because of the nature of One Piece, you're not going to be able to reach the entire audience that Pokemon can reach,
yeah. I mean,
right?
like
There's
One Piece is like a
nudity and
more
violence.
violent, is a more violent anime, right? I mean, like, maybe it's not going to
Yep.
appeal to the kids.
Hmm. It could be a great number two though, number three, and
Oh, for
that's
sure. Yeah.
for me that's really all I've ever wanted to get out of One Piece. Let's just see if we can find another card or question here. What is Alex drinking?
Oh,
Are you drinking anything?
it's just yeah, just some milk and some hojicha. I'll mix it.
There you guys go. Someone said eggnog.
Oh, I like eggnog, but there's a lot of sugar in it.
Yep. All right, question. What are King's thoughts on Wemby cards? What do you think about Wemby?
Oh man, like like I wanted that gold prism Wemby, but I think it went for like man, I think it was 1 of 1. I mean, it went for like hundreds of $1,000s, like for a 1 of 1. Yeah, but if you look historically, 7 foot big guys, they never have long careers. So I mean, I think it's an extremely risky investment. I mean, he just hurt his knee or whatever. Like the guy is so long, so just from a longevity standpoint, even the Spurs are currently they're scaling back his minutes. I mean, he's not like I mean, the last time I saw, he wasn't even starting the games. So I mean, they're being hyper cautious. So I mean, Spurs are they're doing well, but you don't know if they're going to go all the way. They have to go through OKC. But oh, no,
They've been
I mean,
doing that so
yeah,
far.
they beat him so far. Yeah, you're 100% correct. But yeah, I mean, I'm just worried about long term health because like the NBA, it boils down to like health, longevity, and consistency. So I mean, he only played like a partial season last year, and he had that thrombosis. So I mean, he's risky. I mean, if I were to maybe Cooper Flag's better investment. I mean, I don't know. We don't know like their injury history. Like people who collected SGA. I mean, man, they're balling. Because like he wasn't like he wasn't gaining his shine on the Clippers. So I mean, people who invested in him, they're doing well. I mean, he's probably gonna win MVP because Jokic is not gonna play 65 games, and then who else is not gonna play? I mean, like maybe Cade Cunningham. I don't know. He's probably like a dark horse. But yeah, but SGA is
Mhm.
probably a shoe in for the MVP again this year. So great investment for those who took the risk. But yeah, I mean, Wemby, yeah, I just don't know about his longevity and his height and susceptibility to injury and the fact that he's already been injured so much. So it's very scary to invest in someone like Wemby. But yeah, maybe yeah, LeBron, but those cards are so expensive now, the rookie cards. So yeah, maybe Cooper Flag, but even those are expensive. I mean, everything is like hyper inflated. It's crazy. Yeah. So I
Hmm.
mean, I hope, I certainly hope that the One Piece market crashes like crazy. So I'll take all the gold right. I don't care if it went to the dollar. I love the card is very nice. It's yeah, the foiling is gorgeous. So I mean, I really like the card. So wouldn't matter to me.
J- Jason asks, and Jason's a fellow Canadian show. Jason, what card is Alex planning to collect next after the Gold Rogers? You have anything set up, or is it just Gold
Well,
Ron
I
for right
mean,
now?
yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure some black label red Luffy's are going to come. So I'll probably try to get some. But I mean, like the thing is, it's unfortunate that OP13 came at the wrong time because the market is, it's just like ascending up exponentially crazy. So I mean, man, like I talked to a guy in Texas, like he grades a lot of these, One Piece cards. He said, "Oh yeah, someone offered me 60 for it." I'm like, "What?" I mean, 60 for like a brand. You don't know ultimately how many black labels will end up with the. I saw how many red Luffys are going to end up as black label. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just hard to say because initially it's going to be so expensive, and then let's say like 20 of them get graded right as black label. Then yeah, it's going to naturally dip because it's going to be more supply. But I would love those. I really like the card. It's just that I don't like. I mean, aesthetically for the card, I don't like. There's like a kind of like a long red bar. I don't know if you noticed, like in the middle of the card. It's kind of a weird. It's kind of a weird like red block like between the paneling. So I don't know why the hell they did that. I mean, it kind of looks like crap, but otherwise the card is gorgeous. But I would love it. But again, I think they're also plagued with the centering issue.
I see
Um,
what you mean now. Let
yeah,
me
yeah,
bring this up.
yeah. It's not that.
Talk
Yeah,
about this right here.
kind of ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean,
Alrighty.
why would you stick that in there? It's like it looks awful. Yeah.
Let's see. Conclusion: to invest is better slabs 10 or black labels than sealed product. So I guess they're asking, would you rather invest in black labels or slabs in general versus sealed product?
Well, yeah. So I mean, logistically, so I would go with slabs and put them in the vault. So like again, your house can burn down, you can get robbed or whatever. But yeah, seal is if you have a way to very securely store your sealed product, I think that's also a no brainer. But again, don't get garbage sets like OP12. It's kind of like a garbage set. Get
Guys, get
OP,
OP12.
yeah,
Pump my bags.
yeah, OP13. OP09, OP01. But yeah, I mean, even I saw like these the OP12 in the Target close to me.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like Grayson says so many times, like you want to get a set with a good chase card. I mean, like who the hell wants a Julie Bonnie, like manga rare? Nobody wants that. They want the Luffy, they want the Gold Roger, da da da, or the Zoro or whatever. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, but again, like, I mean, I know he's joking at the OP12, but yeah, I mean that invariably will go up anyways. So what does it
By the
matter?
by
Yeah,
the way, like I think OP12 is probably like a mid-tier set. I don't think it's
yeah,
the best.
yeah,
I'm a huge fan of going heavier into the best sets for sure. Like
100%.
OP13 was so obvious. You should have
Yeah,
been loading up on that. O9's great as well if you're in it for the long run. O5, PRBO1, same deal. I do like the idea though of having a little bit of those mid-tier sets, especially if you're getting them dirt cheap. I think
yeah,
there's something to be said. Like I know there are a couple people in my comments. Joe, if Joe's watching, he's a huge fan of just buying boxes at 80, $90 when no one wants them. So there is plays, and I think if you are going to go with sealed product, as someone who owns a lot of sealed product, I know Alex would probably disagree with this. It's probably still worth getting insurance if you have a large enough collection. And if you're in Canada, it's fairly easy to get an add-on to your home insurance for like 50K. I mean, if you have a much larger position, you're going hundreds of thousands of dollars. It gets a little bit trickier, but it's still fairly cheap if you only have like 10, 20K invested in product. So that's all I'll
yeah,
say
yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, again, if One Piece goes in the same trajectory as Pokemon, yeah, I mean, buying anything will go up. So I mean, again, like people are ripping the product, so there's less of it as time goes on. You just have to make sure that the seal is good on the end of the box is not dinged or damaged or bent or whatever. So I mean, that's also another annoying thing about collecting sealed. Like, you have to worry about the condition of the box and the seal and da da da. So it's like a lot of trouble. I mean, for me personally, like I like the fact that I don't have to look at my slabs. I don't have to worry about them. They're being kept safely. So that's but again, like if you have the space, security, and for example, Grace said insurance, yeah, but by all means, it's not it won't be a bad investment as long as One Piece follows a good trajectory upwards like Pokemon, 100%.
Lucas 1P, thank you for the question. I have my OPO9 manga Luffy in two sleeves and a magnetic case. Do you think if I have it standing up, it's going to affect it?
Just like flat, dude. I mean, I'm being kind of crazy here, but yeah, I mean, like, but you don't need two sleeves. Like one sleeve is enough. Oh, and also a tip, right? So if you're having a raw product, you wanna split the edge of the penny sleeve because like if you screw up putting the card in it, it's gonna scratch the edge of the card. So like yeah, so if you're sleeving it, make a little slit on the side of the penny sleeve and you slide in like this. Don't slide in like this. Or if you're gonna slide in like this, you have to like twist the sleeve and put it that way. But it's not as important because sports cars have the sharp corners, the sharp 90-degree
Hmm.
perpendicular corners. So yeah, I mean, little better for that. But yeah, I mean, like, oh yeah, that's a nice card. I mean, yeah, or take your chance PSA. I mean, at least it's going to stabilize and increase the value versus raw. I mean, as long as it doesn't do PSA 9. I mean, that's like a death knell for your card.
I'd say send it to Beckett. YOLO. Be
Yeah,
number six Black Label. Why not?
yeah. That's
Do
15K easy.
you want to take this question about your backstory in terms
Oh
of
yeah,
your
yeah. Oh,
investing journey?
Rich. Yeah, I'm just okay, but yeah, I retired 5 years ago. I mean, I got lucky with investing. So, oh, so I mean, one of my big winning plays is actually a Canadian company, Shopify. So that's
Hmm.
been in Ottawa. So I did really well on that, and then I'm also a huge Palantir investor. So I have a lot of that. And yeah, and then I like for income for retirement, like I have to draw income from closed-end funds or MLPs. So that gives you good tax deferred income. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you just my advice is like try to get a good career going. Invest all you can. I know AI is like the hot play or whatever, but like for example, a good stock that I mean a stock I've been tracking is called Figma. It's like kind of like an Adobe competitor. So I mean, if you like the IPO price of 33, it jumped all the way up like something crazy, and then now it's back near like 37 ish for the near the IPO price. So I mean, I think that can be a great stock. It's just not financial advice, but yeah, I mean, you want to investing emerging companies. So you like, for example, companies with a negative EPS, right? Like they're not drawing profit, but you're taking that risk to get the asymmetric upside of that asset. So yeah.
Impulsive also says rip and ship for One Piece is starting to gain traction on whatnot. Yeah, that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something I need to pay more attention to. I haven't seen any large YouTuber do it. I feel like the day Wenzel TCG starts doing One Piece, that's when things are gonna start skyrocketing. But no, that's good. If it's moving on whatnot, I'm
Yeah,
happy.
yeah. I mean, I've ripped loose packs with OPO9. You just get a rage, because it's all garbage. But and okay, so I was being stupid, right? Because I didn't realize like they juice all the loose packs. So like they'll get the hits and then they'll sell all the loose packs and there's all garbage in there. Yeah, but I would be buying them for like I don't know, like I want to say like $3-4 a piece. It's not. I mean, it's just for fun, but yeah. Essentially, it's kind of a scummy way to sell packs. So you should only get the blisters or the sealed product if you're gonna rip.
Yeah, dead packs are unfortunately something we got to deal with
Yeah, yeah.
in One Piece, but it kind of is what it is. Question: should I hold or sell my EBO2Ks? Uh, Esteban, I can't give you an answer. It's going to depend on your investment journey. I'll say that I still have my two cases behind me over there. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. I think with all those gold leaders going up and continuing to move, we did a video on that yesterday. It's something that I'm looking to hold long term.
Oh, and
Alex, what do you think?
oh
Any
yeah, yeah, yeah,
thoughts?
yeah. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like if it's sealed, yeah, keep it 100% because apparently there's a premium for sealed cases versus like sealed individual boxes apparently,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean if One Piece continues gaining traction, yeah, 100% keep it.
What are your thoughts on pre-errata versus post-errata romance dawn? Have you paid too much attention to that?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen those pre-errata Luffy cards like get expensive, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I'd rather have like like a serialized Luffy or Gold Roger. I mean, those are short print runs anyway. Um, so yeah.
I think the market's starting to tell us that they prefer the mangas, the serialized cards, even like the OP11 Luffy, the gold version,
Oh, I
now
love
up
that
to around
card.
10K. So yeah, I know there's a couple people in our private group that have those now. So
So let me add to the OP11 discussion. So I want a black label badly, but those the problem with those cards, even though they're black label, they're heavy right usually. So the rule of thumb is you have to see the ring the ring pinky on his right foot. So if you don't see that, the card is like 100% off center. So a lot of those black labels that they're not like centered. So you
hmm.
got to be super careful when you're and like it seems like all those cards have the issue or most of them. So if you don't see the ring pinky on the right foot of Luffy, then it's not centered.
I believe if I'm reading this correctly, that that's the alt art of the gold leader. This is the SP. Is it this one? 18 black labels,
I think so.
3% rate. That's fairly low.
Yeah, exactly.
Fairly low. Yeah, beautiful card though for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I just don't agree with because the problem is like if you have more than one person grading all the black labels, then like there's gonna be too much variance. And like I'd rather have one person like grade gold rotters, one person grade that, so they know what to look for. It's super
That's
easy.
interesting.
The cards they're all shifted or shifted left or right. I mean, it's super easy. Like the borders are so uneven. And if you look at it, like I've seen like this one Japanese black label, it's like perfectly dead center. So I mean, it's just interesting.
Jollibee. These new guys are made out of glass. I think he's referring to the NBA, right? A lot
Oh
of
yeah,
these
yeah,
jerseys.
they're soft, man. Yeah, yeah, they love the porn stars and they love sit out.
Question: did you ever think about owning every single Goldie Roger card, raw and graded, to own the Goldie market?
Yeah, well,
Is that
number
kind of the
one,
goal?
yeah, yeah, that's impossible. And number one, that's impossible. And number two, I'd rather specialize in the best. So yeah,
Yeah, get the black labels.
yeah.
That's cool. Let's see. Thoughts on low pop, championship, treasure cup cards, non-serial, but top eight or winner cards with 150 or less distributed?
Yeah, so I would focus on Luffy cards. I know there's a popular Zoro one. Like he's going like this, serialized, and like there's an Ace one that I've seen. But yeah, I mean, like if it were me personally, yeah, I would focus on Luffy. I mean, that's your only sure bet for actually for retaining value or gaining value. So that's just me though. I mean,
You guys know
yeah, if there was like a treasure cup gold Roger card, I'll buy all those. Yeah, yeah.
you guys know my thoughts on, championship, treasure cup, promo cards, whatever. Keep it to the top characters, in my opinion. There's something to be said about scarcity, but at the same time, like the Luffy's, the Zoros of the world, they are going to be much easier to move than something like a Rebecca or a Perona. So yeah, I think they could do well in the future. It really just depends, but not for me, not for Alex. A question for us broke people. What are your best cards to invest in that are worth less than $1,000? Do you have any thoughts on this? You
Damn,
don't have to have thoughts, but
yeah, $1,000. Damn.
it's getting
Oh
tough
yeah,
at this point.
yeah, I would do seal product, for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
I
even
would
know
probably
cards worth of
recommend
less.
that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't even know less than 1,000. Like, I mean, they're so damn expensive. Everything.
I would say that right now, how far we are into the boom, a lot of the cards that you could buy for sub $1,000 are probably up 400% over the past, let's say 150 to 180 days. Probably not the best place to put your money, in my opinion, right now. Something like sealed product, if you sit on it long enough, it's deflationary. There's going to be less of them out there.
Yeah, hundred
So
percent.
it doesn't even matter if it's a really strong set, right? Like I think OP12, I know Alex isn't a huge fan, but something like that is still so cheap compared to where Wings of the Captain, Kingdoms of Intrigue is. You could buy maybe like 6 boxes with $1,000, which at least that gives you some level of position. You could go for more expensive options, OP09, $400 a box, whatever. OP11 guys, keep your eye on OP11. If you can find that, like 250 still, 230, probably an insta buy at this point, considering where the gold and silver Luffy's are going. So you have options, but I think sealed product was a good shout.
Oh so back to OP12. Like I do like that gold short print, special print Blackbeard, but
Hmm.
I don't like the character. He's kind of scummy. So I'd rather have the guy, like Gold Rod, or I don't know, like it's something off-putting about Blackbeard. But yeah, I mean it's a nice car. Looks great.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you invest in gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ender stock? We talked about stocks a little
Yeah, yeah,
bit,
yeah.
but do you invest in any other assets?
I don't invest in like physical gold or silver, but yeah, silver has been like booming like crazy. Yeah, Bitcoin I have some of that, but I don't actively buy it anymore because it's I don't know. Like I'd rather have. Okay, so the odds of Bitcoin 10xing from here versus like like a smaller tech stock is less likely. So I mean, um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, if you bought Bitcoin earlier, whatever, at like like 20K, then fine, then just keep it. But I don't know what the I mean. People are saying, oh, it's going to be a million, a billion, whatever. I mean, like. Also, like Bitcoin will never be universally accepted because there's so much security risk. I mean, like you haven't seen what happened with FTX and a BlockFi and all them. So I mean, it's
Uh,
just a huge black eye to the industry.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, so okay, so I'm gonna say an important piece here. So a lot of people keep their Bitcoin on Coinbase or private wallet, whatever, or a hot wallet. Like I transferred all my Bitcoin into Fidelity. So Fidelity Digital has a custody service. So I would trust that more than like a Coinbase, for example. So yeah, all my digital assets are in Fidelity. So I mean, I feel it being more secure there. Yeah, yeah, stocks for '06. Okay, so I mean, okay, so I know like okay, so there's two with absolutely massive 800 billion to $1 trillion valuations, but OpenAI and SpaceX, I mean, they'll probably invariably go up. At least like 2 to 5x, probably, right? So normally you see like for example Figma, right? You see an IPO boom, and then it'll plateau, it'll dip. So that may be the time to accumulate. But again, this is not financial advice. But yeah, I like things like Figma, OpenAI. I heard like late 2026, like $1 trillion valuation. So you don't know if that's going to bust. You don't know if AGI or whatever is gonna take off, and there's gonna be robotics and all that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tricky. I would never bet against Elon. So I think that'll be a fairly good investment. I mean, apparently he's gonna have data centers in space. I don't know the veracity of that, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great potential. Like for example, actually the two that have not IPO'd yet, Rubrik and Databricks, and and the other one, I'm gonna put a huge amount of money is Anduril, but that may be 2 3 years away. So that's autonomous defense for the United States. So I mean, I think the whole DoD is going to shift their all their uh, defense capabilities to autonomous solutions. So I think Anduril is going to be a huge benefactor because the current the current contractors like Lockheed, Raytheon, et cetera, like they're kind of stuck because they don't do a product first development, right? So they don't place their own money and develop products. They develop products using taxpayer money. So they have less of an incentive to make sure that the ultimate product is usable for the U.S. military. So I think Anduril is a absolutely no-brainer investment. But again, it's currently private, so you won't be able to get public shares of it. But it may happen 2 3 years. So I mean, I'm going to put a huge amount of money in that. So I mean, yeah. So Anduril is a big one. Anduril, SpaceX, Figma, da da da. But again, it's not financial advice, and they all may go to zero. So who knows?
There you guys go. Heard it here first. Okay, OP13. Will it come down price from current market value? I imagine when second wave hits. I would say yes. I'm expecting that Bandai's actually going to do a fairly large print of it. We'll see. I can't imagine that a reprint would have zero impact on price. So I think it's a fairly easy answer. You could get into a more nuanced conversation about where it's going to go, whether it's going to be 200, 300, 350, who knows at that point, but it's going to be a buying opportunity for sure to DCA.
Yeah, it's just so painful for me to get One Piece products. So I mean, if I find something, I will love them, but they would have to be at or near retail.
Do you anticipate the market crashing hard?
Yeah, I mean every market, it doesn't matter what kind of market, it ebbs and flows. So man, I hope so. I need those gold riders. I need them.
I'm kind of in the same boat now. I mean, obviously, I'm not on the Gold Roger level, but I would like to get some of the SPs, the Whitebeard SP from Royal Blood, the Buggy from '06, and those cards have run up a lot too. So I'm hoping there's a crash just so I can add some cards to my
Yeah,
collection.
yeah. I mean, the speed of the market is insane. So I mean, it's bound to crash for sure.
What's your top five One Piece cards? I'm guessing it's Gold Roger, Gold Roger, Gold Roger, Gold Roger, and Gold Roger, but
Yeah, yeah. I like. Okay, so I like that. The one, the championship Luffy card with the buggy eyes. They went for like 315. Yeah. So I would love to have that, but like I noticed, man, like it's crazy. Like that CGC case, like man, that's banging that card up. So I saw the back of it. I was like, I don't know about that. So yeah. So the championship card, like that would be like a dream card, but like it's weird. Like like so like the big baller Benjamin B. So he has those cards, but like uh they're like I mean, they're not like the original card given to the winner. So I don't know if he has like the original given prize card, because I think that was Japanese, but someone correct me. I'm not an expert on it, but yeah, I mean there's like English reproductions of the cards. So I mean you don't know what I mean like if you look at the CGC pop report, there's like three of them. So I mean like like you don't know like what's what. So, but yeah, that card's cool. I would love a Black Label Serial Luffy. Obviously, Black Label Gold Roger. Oh, man, what other card do I like? I want to say. Okay, so I like the Red Luffy, but I don't like the regular manga cards because I referred to earlier, like they kind of remind me of a Panini Prism and NBA Prism card. And number two is like they have the border on them, and they have that block, the block of the name. It obfuscates the artwork, so I hate that. So
hmm.
I believe the only manga borderless cards are the Gold Roger and the Luffy, the Red Luffy. So yeah, I would love those cards, but yeah, I mean, again, I'm not going to pay something outrageous, but I would love like one like maybe I'll pay whatever 20 30 for it, but whatever.
Jolly asked, "How did we meet?"
Yeah,
How did we meet, Alex?
I followed him on Instagram like earlier because like I was curious like who's the voice behind, and then he reached out to me like a week or so ago, and then we just set it up. So yeah. This is actually our like second time meeting virtually.
Hmm. I've known who you were for a long time though, because I was in
Yeah.
the powerlifting community a little
Oh
bit. So
yeah. He knew about that. Yeah.
we didn't really talk about that today, and I don't think there's probably anyone in here who was around like 2010 IPF USAPL sort of era. But yeah, no, that's I saw you followed me like earlier this year, and I
Yeah.
figured it was worth reaching out and having a conversation. So yeah, that's how it went down. Comment here, controller again. Wenzel and Pokebank, if they come over for us, if they come over, it's over for us, poor folks. Yeah, like if Wenzel starts doing One Piece rip and chips, that's when things are gonna go crazy for sure, 100%. Like he is crushing the short form, not even short form, just like vertical format on YouTube. So every night they got like 1K concurrent viewers, and they do a really good job. So yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before like one of those big channels really starts holding One Piece.
Yeah, but how would you currently view the current Pokemon market, especially like vintage and like like for example these Phantasmal Flames and all? I mean, like, do you think? Okay, so especially with that, that what Millennium printing deal for the end of 2027, like, what do you think is gonna happen? Because like I almost never see any Pokemon product. It's all wiped out like every time I go to a big box store.
Yeah, I think that when you run the numbers, that there's not as much sealed product out there as people think, especially for the older stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the best numbers, but there's a couple people in the Pokemon space like Catch 'em All Collectibles. He's done really good breakdowns. Like if you look at the PSA pop reports, you take pull rate data, you estimate what percentage of cards gets graded. You can get a rough idea of how many packs have been opened in order to get to those pop reports.
Yep.
So if you do that for every set and you really run the numbers as deep as you possibly can, there can't be billions and billions and billions worth of cards still for some of these booster box sets. So
Yeah.
I think they are printing a lot. They're obviously printing more basically every year, but also a ton of it's still being opened every single day.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so
that's why I'm still bullish on Pokemon.
so let me ask you about there's only one Black Label Bubble Mew.
Hmm.
So like what do you think is a fair price for that card? I would like to have it, but there's only one of them.
I have no clue,
Yeah.
honestly, because it's one of one, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
But
Yeah,
like yeah, I mean like the PSA 10 is like sub 2 and like this guy is like, "Oh, I've been offered 40 for it." I mean, it's not a 20x premium, right?
maybe,
Maybe.
maybe
That's
if it's one
crazy
of
though.
one, like.
I mean it like there's like probably like 100,000 of those printed.
But whoever's buying that card, like I feel like they're not doing it as an investment at that point. It's more just like to say
Yeah.
that they have the one black label in the world. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah, I love the look of the Black Label. It's so nice.
I will say it does surprise me how little black labels are kind of relevant in Pokemon.
Oh, really?
You know, especially with like I guess part of it might just be because the gem rates are so low at PSA that people don't want to even bother with black labels, and there's probably not a ton of them out there anyways. I should probably look deeper into that, but
Yeah, if you
yeah,
look at
no,
like the Mega Charizard EX, I mean, like people are asking 50, 55K for it. I mean, it's ridiculous. But yeah,
yeah.
there's already 5 Black Labels, so I don't know. I mean, it's a cool card though.
Is it time to sell One Piece during the hype and growth and buy Pokemon? I mean, I'm not selling any of my One Piece. I sold one box of OPO5. I'll probably sell one box of PRBO1, maybe two, just because I am buying a sealed case. So I just want to move funds kind of in that sense. But the vast majority of what I'm holding, I'm still holding because I believe long term, and I think people are going to regret not being here in 5 years. That's just my take.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with stock investing. Like, yeah, you don't want to buy and sell willy nilly like that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, if you have a solid One Piece cards, like for example, the main characters and they're slabbed or you got sealed stuff. Yeah, yeah, I would just keep it and just see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, Pokemon. I mean, at least Pokemon is more widespread and you can buy like retail sealed products. So especially if you go like Facebook Marketplace or whatever, I mean, you can find decent, MSRP things. So yeah.
Top three waifus, non-straw hats. I mean, Boa.
Yeah,
That's
Bo
it.
Hancock's popular. Yeah, she has
I,
that cool. She has that cool SP on the OP14, right? You saw that?
yeah.
Yes, it's a
Hmm.
nice card.
That's gonna be an expensive one.
Yeah.
I can't even think of any like well, Perona. I'm sure some people would
Oh, it
throw in
was
there.
is Yamato a waifu? Kind of.
I for some people, right? You know, some people say
Yeah,
she's a guy, so
yeah.
yeah, I would go with Boa. Outside that, there's I don't really know if there's anyone competing. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a few more questions here. Question: I feel like there's a need for One Piece new content creators. However, I am unsure on what to make and how to start. Any advice? If you want to make content, man, you just gotta press record, right? Like everyone starts by sucking. I mean, I still fucking suck at making content, but you gotta get in front of a camera, turn your mic on, and just talk, right? And you'll find your niche as you go, whether you're talking about cards, sealed product, whatever niche you want to go into. Like you start and you'll learn as you go, basically. So that would
No,
be my recommendation.
yeah, I will say for Grayson's content, like he has a specific format, so it's easy to listen to, and like he flips through like his documentation like very in an organized way, and like yeah, I mean he provides good insights, and yeah, I mean I like the way he presents things. That's why it's watchable. Some people aren't watchable, like the blah 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 blah. They're talking too much, but he kind of gets to the meat of the issue. So that's why I watch his videos.
I'll say too, um, and I always try and be cognizant of this is like people probably aren't going to watch your videos because they care about you. They care about the content. So a lot of new creators or just people in general, they'll talk about their personal lives a lot. They just go on like 5 to 10 minute rambles about whatever. And most people, and especially the people that are, high value that really are doing big things in life, they don't give a shit. And that might be hard for some people to hear, but the more value that you can pack into a video and just get to the point and give them what they actually want out of it, that's probably going to help you a ton as well. So my advice is like once you record, watch what you recorded and edit it down as much as you humanly can with still getting the point across. And that'll help a ton with your watch time and you'll be good to go. So yeah. I saw a comment about IPF Worlds here too. Fellow IPF Worlds competitor here, small world. Fick, are you from the US or what part of the world? By the way, I never went to Worlds. I didn't even go to nationals, but I did provincials a couple times in BC, so I guess that
Okay,
counts for something.
yeah. I was 2013, 2015, so maybe we met.
Did you were you equipped or did
Yeah. I
you
was equipped. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. My best lists were 600 at 146 equipped, 573 at around 145 equipped, and yeah, the bench was like around 325, 150 ish. Yeah, so at around like 66 kilo.
There you
So
go.
it's just okay numbers.
Just okay numbers,
Yeah, just okay. Yeah,
just okay.
yeah. We can always be better. Yeah.
Are you caught up on One Piece? I don't think you
No,
watch a
no,
ton
no,
of One Piece,
no,
right?
no, no, not at all. Uh, I mean, like the thing is, like you watch all these clips, but like, I'm through. Okay, I might get hate on this, but I finished through Alabasta, so I'm like super far. But I've seen Marineford and all the Gold Roger clips, but and I've seen like Shanks, he split Eustace Kids thing. So, but I have a long way to go. So I
Yep.
can never claim I'm an expert, but I mean here and there. But I want to finish it though. It's too much. It's so much though.
By the way, this is a prime example of what I've been saying on the channel since the beginning. Because when I started my channel, I would have all the people from like r slash One Piece TCG. They'd roast me because my knowledge of One Piece was very limited at the time. And I mean, I'm still not an expert, but at least I'm learning. You don't need to know anything about One Piece to actually invest in the TCG, right? Like the fundamentals of investing in collectibles are basically the same across all the games, like Pokemon, Magic, now One Piece. I'm sure there's gonna be other ones in the future. So yeah, if you just look at the numbers, make sense of that, that's really all you need to get started, honestly. I think we're basically caught up on chat here too.
Okay, cool.
And it's kind of like we've been going for an hour and a half too, so it might be let's if there's a few more questions that come in, we can take them, and then
Yeah, for sure.
um we can give you like final words too if there's anything you want to
Yeah.
say and plug your shit again as well, and then we'll get out of here. A couple more questions came in though. Question, Toronto Six God, is 151 Pokemon too expensive now to invest in? I'm nowhere in need to rip any 151 right now. I would say that 151 is getting more expensive, but I still think it has a long way to go in the future. If you look at the booster bundles, they're back over 100 on TCG Player. I think those are going to do really well in 2026. So keep an eye on 151.
I think that Charizard chase card is not like particularly expensive, right? The one where he's like flying.
No, I
It's
think
not.
it's back down to maybe like 220, 230, maybe even cheaper than that. Um, the pop on that is so high. I mean, I like just buying the sealed product. A lot of people enjoy opening 151, 151, whatever you want to call it. I think it's going to be like that for a long period of time. The nostalgia's there, tons of great hits. Even outside the Charizard, you have the Venusaur, the Blastoise, the Zapdos SIR is probably my favorite. Well, Alakazam obviously is up there too. But yeah, tons of great cards. I think in the future it's going to be more expensive. I think this is a question as well. How should you price your black label? Do you compare to PSA 10, BGS 10, and do a certain X percentage or price, like
Yeah,
2X of the PSA 10, etc.?
I mean, there's no exact science to it, but yeah, I would say 150 to 200%. For example, a BGS 10 Gold Roger, like I think it's sold for like 13.5. So I mean, if you do the math, then technically it should be at least 18 to 20. And a PSA 10, yeah, so PSA 10 Roger, like one went for what I want to say like 12 or 14,000 recently. So I mean, yeah, I mean that means the Black Roger is the black black label is like considerably more expensive.
Do you have any advice for people grading cards?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so you eyeball it first, and then you eyeball the back, especially for One Piece cards. Check for whitening, and then you run it through a few apps on your phone. Yeah, there's like so many of them, but it can tell you exactly. It's fairly foolproof, but also checking for surface is kind of tricky because you have to look at it very carefully. But it's a roll of dice. I mean, maybe your grader is in a bad mood and he doesn't want to give you a black label. Who knows? Yeah, I'm
Uh,
not. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those tag slabs either. Like because like they're all bouncing in the card, man. Like just put the damn sleeve in it. Like I don't know why it's so difficult. Just
if you want to spit a little game, what app do you specifically use for
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, like,
there's so many of them out
yeah,
there.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
whatever people want to use.
I couldn't even tell you. Yeah, because
Have you
I don't really grade cards, so.
I think Jason asked too. I can't find. Oh, here it is. How many? Well, yeah. Do you clean your cards for grading? But have you actually graded any of the black labels yourself,
No,
or did you buy
I
all
have
of them?
not because it's not economically viable. But I have submitted to PSA. Like, I sent like a Lamella card, but it was a one of one, so I only authenticated it. It doesn't need a grade. But yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of like Pokemon restorers I've seen. Like they're like I don't know how they're fixing the whitening on the edges. Apparently, like it's rolled up, so you can roll it back. But I find all that interesting. But like I wouldn't want a doctored card. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. But yeah, I don't know.
Take this one too. Son of Gray. Grace. I think the origin actually came from like son of a gray-haired man, but what are your main sleepers in the One Piece market? I will say two legends, great set, two legends, Royal Blood, and let's throw in 500 years in the future. Those guys, those are the sleepers. If you know, you know. Let's see what else. There's a couple more here. I'm really bad, by the way, at keeping up with chat. So it's been nice today to have someone with me, just to talk while I'm looking for this. Jason did ask too. Do you think Pokebros will go back to Pokemon for the 30th anniversary, and leave One Piece entirely? I'll say this too, and Alex can give his thoughts on what he's seen in the scene. I I think there's a lot of organic growth in One Piece even before a lot of the people started coming over from Pokemon. I mean, when PokeNE started making his videos, Alex from Nostalgianomics started talking about One Piece a little bit. There's been a few other people who have made videos as well. Even before that, there was growth in One Piece. So I think the organic demand is there and will still be there in the future. Will some people go back to Pokemon? Sure. I mean, why not? Like the hype is probably going to be there for the 30th, but I don't think that a lot of people coming are going to leave entirely. They're probably going to hold some positions, especially in the best sets, best cards. It kind of seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, yeah. I think One Piece, it'll continue to gain traction. But I know that people keep saying over and over live action, live. I don't like live action. I think it's awful. But I mean, if it brings more people to the market, then yeah, I'm all for it. But yeah, I mean, like again, like it'll be more interesting to see how how this market ends up once the anime ends. Which is supposedly five years. So I mean, I'll be more interested to see what happens then.
What do you think of 4-H products? I'll say that the gap is too wide right now. I think in the future, the difference between a 4 Asia box and the North American slash European release is going to be closer to like 5-10%. These like 30 to 40% differences right now, I think is a great arbitrage opportunity for people who want to get to One Piece, and even the more expensive sets like '09, PRBL 1 is on the rise even in Singapore. But getting those products still at like 550, 600 a box, maybe even less than that, pretty good deal considering that in North America they're like 850, $900.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a slight stigma on the for Asia products. So like for me, like again, same with slabs, English only.
What would be your ideal scenario for One Piece market in 2026? Keep, increase, and stabilize or go back a little? Ideal scenario for me, I think just for the longevity of the game is sizable reprints but healthy. I don't want Bandai to print everything to the ground, but it would be nice if we get more OP13 on the market. I also don't want them to just go back and do anything crazy. Like if they touch '05, even '09 at this point, as things get older, that becomes a little bit worrisome just because we should hopefully set the expectation that when things are getting older, Bandai just doesn't bother with them, kind of like how Pokemon does it. That's really what's led to stability in the Pokemon markets is people understanding that when things go to rotation, like 151, Paldean Fates, Paldea Evolved, all those sets are going to do this year, that they don't get more reprints. So when you have that level of security, people kind of understand the game. I think that's good for the collecting market. At the same time, though, it's nice that newer sets are still readily available, that you can get them at a decent price. I've been on record saying I like the idea that the official Bandai stores pulls the seal off of booster boxes. I think that's fine. Like that definitely helps a little bit with combating scalpers. So I would say reprints are ideal, but I don't want to see like a full on crash. Obviously, I think a correction will come, but that's kind of what I'm looking towards in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, if they were to do a full on reprint of OP09, like I want something easier, like for example, like easy way for a Shanks PRB01 and EP01 would be that little star, right, for the reprint, and then like like
Hmm.
other ways tells like the dot, print dot matrix on like for example like a Trafalgar Law, but I want them if they do reprints to do like something like a they demarcate the card like much more easy, like the R or something reprint, because obviously original Roger, Gold Roger would have a significant premium over the reprinted one. So I hope they do something like that, just to differentiate the products.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, as a buyer, yeah, I want the things to crash, so buy them
Have
all.
you dealt with anyone from Dubai? Do you feel like some big players are in this market?
No, 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 no. I'm kind of new to like this kind of crazy market. I mean, specifically One Piece market. So no, that'd
Fair
be cool
enough.
though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've watched Merch's videos
Oh yeah,
on
I saw the
Instagram or
Huracan. You
whatever.
go to the Huracan? Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
so
I met, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
I think there's probably some people coming in, but it's so tough to tell. Like I don't have those contacts. I mean, it would be
Yeah.
great to sit down with some people who have,
He's
huge
like, oh,
collections like
yeah,
that,
oh,
but
this is the Gold Roger guy at the convention. That's funny.
let's see what else. Oh 09 or 13 for me, it is still 13. Like they're not even close still. Even with the Roger getting up to like 10K in a PSA 10 or yeah, well no, ungraded 9K, 10K. What's the PSA 10 15 now? Alex is buying black labels for like 25, 30. So even with all that going on, I still think OP13 is just the deeper, more desirable set.
Yeah, well, the OP13 has six mangas. So I mean, versus the five, but I think those red ones in particular, they're very sought after. So and plus, I mean, you can get OP13 closer to retail, so huge plus.
There you go. Picked up a few OP13 at market 350. What we thinking in 2 years, Pokey Bro? Look, man, 2 years is way too short of a time horizon to be investing in sealed products. I would say 5 years from now, once it's out of rotation, out of print, it's going to be worth a lot more than even 400. The value's there, in my opinion, unless they print it into the ground, which it seems like Bandai's learned their lesson from past games that they won't do that. But time will tell. If they do what I expect them to do with OP13, it's going to be a much more expensive box 5 years from now.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's any other one. We'll take this last question and then we'll give Alex the floor for closing statements and stuff. Check your DM. Oh, this is not even a question. Check your DM. Sent you my red Luffy video. There you go. So yeah,
All right,
okay.
cool.
I'll take a look at that. Alex, do you have anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I want to thank Grayson for the opportunity to stream. It's really cool to talk with another person passionate about One Piece TCG. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, you guys, just my last thoughts. If you collect, try to collect the best, the black labels. I mean, you're competing with other crazy people like me, but I mean, if you want to retain value and for that to stabilize, definitely go for the best, the best that you can get. And you can't collect everything; it's impossible. So if you're gonna specialize, then probably specialize in a few cards because it's impossible to collect all of them. But yeah, I mean, again, like if you can get Beckett gold label over PSA 10s, I'll probably go for those again, just for the protection aspect of the slab. And yeah, I mean, of course, like all this hobby stuff should come secondary to your actual investing. Like if you do S&P 500 or whatever, so take care of your household first. Then you have extra money to to blow on cards. I mean, there's no, again, we don't have the history with a One Piece TCG if it'll retain and grow its value. It looks like it, but again, nothing's guaranteed. Again, like I don't know if it's gonna go the trajectory of like Dragon Ball or whatever, but yeah, like Grace said, like it'll probably be a strong number two to Pokemon. It'll probably never overtake it, but there's room. There's Magic the Gathering. There's Pokemon. So there's a room for everyone, and hopefully, you can specialize and you can build a portfolio that at least retains its value. But yeah, I mean, this car is crazy. I mean, it was ranging from I mean, just the English version, like 10 to 18 for the Black Label. But I think the market is getting squeezed, and it's not looking great for people trying to buy additional ones. But yeah, whatever. I mean, like at least like for me personally, I'm not going to personally profit from having Black Labels because I mean they're just out of circulation. So I mean, I'm not again. I don't have to sell, but I would love to buy more at reasonable prices. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, hopefully, everyone takes heed of my advice. If you have really expensive cars, to vault them. Don't put yourself to risk. It's not worth it. I mean, you can enjoy your car for like a few seconds. You put it in the vault. It's safe. It'll be safer than it is at your home. So please, if you have especially cards 5, 10, 15, 20 plus $1,000, like don't store them in your home. So really utilize your PSA vault service again, which is free, so you don't pay for it. So if you vault them, they store for you indefinitely. Hopefully it's free. I don't know if they're going to charge fees in the future, but hopefully not. I don't think it's in their in their interest to charge for those for that vault service. But yeah, please vault your expensive cars. Don't expose yourself to risk. If you do collect sealed products, please keep it in a secure place. And like Grace said, insure it if you can. Maybe your collection gets immense. And I also did ask the PSA Vault if they store sealed product, that they do not. So they don't sell. So they don't store any sealed products. So I mean that's kind of a downer. But yeah. So if you're a slab collector, please do your high priced slabs into the vaults. It'll be safe. You can recall it any time. You just have to fill out some paperwork. But yeah, I mean also don't compromise on buying, especially if you have recent comparables. So like you don't want to be taking advantage of like, oh hey, like I want like double the like Grace said, like 200% of the most recent comp. It's just not fair, and you're going to be robbing yourself. So always look at recent comps. Again, Grace mentioned 130 Point isn't the most user friendly website, but it's a very valuable resource because eBay buy now prices are not necessarily accurate. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully everyone enjoys collecting. I mean, if you guys like Mihawk, that the manga is coming out OP14. It's a good looking card, but I mean, do I necessarily want to? I mean, he's one of my favorite characters in One Piece, so I mean, he's cool. Him, Shanks, and Gold Roger, but I mean, I would rather collect Gold Roger versus anyone else. I mean, we were spending all this money, so might as well just get the best or try to get the
I
best.
think I think the boas in OP14 are going to go absolutely insane. The
Yeah.
manga event rare, and then her SP, and then an EBO3 as well. So those are the cards I'm looking out for. But yeah, the Mihawk is dope as well. I think we're gonna end it there, guys. If you do have a Black Label Roger or even ungraded copies that you're looking to offload, Alex's Instagram is linked at the top of the video description. You can find it there, Kong_cards. Thanks again, Alex, for coming on. We're gonna have to do this again in the future. I
Oh
think it'd
yeah,
be
yeah. So
a good
probably doing a
chat
year to see how crazy it is.
for sure.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
fun.
All right, so
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching the live stream. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one. We're out.